Violence, 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 disaster, disaster, disaster. What is going on in this world? Hi, I'm Helen Miller from youmeanhappiness.com. Let's get right to it. In the next 5 minutes, I'm going to give you 5 ways to reset yourself, and I want to talk about all this disastrous things that's going on in the world right now, be it COVID, be it this tragedy that just happened, and let's look at 5 ways that you can reset yourself, because there's a universal energy at the moment. All that I ever need, all that I want to do is hold you forever, ever and ever. Da, 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 da.
Radio. It's free. Why not?
And it's affecting you as an individual. And when you change something in yourself, it has a ripple effect. Anything that you do has a ripple effect, because we are all connected. It's all energy. That's why we need to all be very mindful of how we live, what we do, every single little thing. And I want to address something today, because I know businesses and people are exploiting these crises, these tragedies that's happening in the world. And I'm not 100% in agreement with all of this. Okay, let's look at this. First of all, when something tragic happens, the way I believe you should be thinking is not like, oh, what can I post to blow up my business because of this, or whatever it is. Like, think of the person or their family, for example. Do what you can do to make a difference in this. Don't just talk. Don't just consume information. Do something. If you can't do something, leave it alone. Go and spread some good news. Don't post things that's exacerbating the situation. And for example, send love to the family, that's suffering from this loss. Or if it's COVID, see what you can do to help people, to help the situation. Spread the good. Okay, now let's look quickly at 5 ways that you can reset yourself in times of crisis. Number 1, fasting. I know a lot of you might not fast. Some of you might do intermittent fasting. Maybe you know that I do kind of extreme fasting, that I did my breatharian initiation last year, which means I went without food and water for 4.5 days the first time I did it. Now my record is 116 hours. Fasting is a good way of resetting yourself, even if you only do a couple of hours a day. But it's a very, very good way for you to reset your system, to get rid of all this kind of energy of like trauma or energy of discord that you sometimes feel. You might feel like all of a sudden you just feel disturbed. It's because of these universal energies. And if you are not going to put something in place that's going to help you navigate you through this time, then it's going to be very hard for you, and you will see this reflected in your own life, and you will be manifesting little disasters of your own in your own life, because you are tapping into this universal energy. That's why I'm being a bit strong on this today, because I'm not for the fact that people are using these crises. I don't think this is a really positive practice. So number 1 is fasting. And then number 2 is you need to decide what is important to you. And then you make a mind map of this. And you put this mind map up for you. However you want to put your mind map. Like a spider or something. Decide what is important to you. Example. If your faith is important to you, you put that in the center there. And when you look at it, you can even put there whatever your practice is. If it's meditation, if it's going to church, if it's helping people, if it's starting up a new business that's helping people, whatever it is concerning like your faith life or what it is, put that in the center and make sure that that when you see that, you're like, okay, wait, this is the most important thing to me. This is where I need to put in my most of my time. Not on social media, not on creating more fear in other people, not on picking up the phone and gossiping or whatever it is. This is where I'm supposed to be spending most of my time. If it's okay, then you can say, for example, next thing, it's taking care of my family or building my business. Then you put that as your next leg, and you're like, okay, this is the second thing that I need to give most of my attention to. But do I have a schedule in place? Do I have a coach that can help me with this? If I don't have money, can I get some free resources where I can do this? And not go and spend hours on YouTube. There needs to be a balance between action and consuming information, learning. You need to take action and you need to learn. So these are like things that you need to look at. Then it could be, for example, my health. If your body doesn't feel good, then you're gonna feel like, so am I exercising? Am I eating good? Are there things that I can eliminate? For example, if you eat something and you don't feel good, go and write it down. Get a little book somewhere, whatever. Make a note. Okay, when I eat potato chips, I don't feel good. Note to self, don't buy potato chips. Okay? If you want to have a snack, then you go like, okay, I'm gonna have potato chips. Maybe I should try popcorn. Okay, so now we go out and buy popcorn next time. You eat the popcorn, you don't feel good. Write it down. Popcorn doesn't make me feel good. I'm not gonna buy popcorn again. So these are the type of things that you can look at. Then third thing is do something good for yourself. Whatever it is. Take a break and do something good for yourself. If you can go away, go away. If you can buy something for yourself, a nice new dress or a gadget or whatever, go and do that. Do something nice for yourself, because what's been happening in this time is people are stressing, people are filled with fear, people are and you forget to take care of yourself. And it's like a downhill slope that you're going. You need to take care of yourself. So whatever little thing you can do, or big thing, make a point of it and say, okay, I'm doing this special thing for myself today. Then number 4 is take a break from social media to reset yourself. So take a little break. Try not to, when you wake up in the morning, to first go on social media, because what happens is it's set like a pattern in motion, and this pattern is what keeps you hooked for the rest of the day. Get a time and say, listen, from this hour to this hour I'm checking my social media. Or if you want to have a shock, go and write down, you, on your phone even, you see how many hours a day you spend on social media. It's scary. I am not an angel when it comes to this, but it's shocking. Think about your life one day. Think when you're going to be like at the end of your times. You're going to be like, gosh man, I spent years, when you count it up, on social media. I could have been traveling, I could have been going to the beach, I could have been spending time with my friend, I could have been building a house, I could have been starting a business, I could have been writing a book, I could have been learning a new skill. It's really scary. And something I can maybe suggest is choose something and say, okay, I'm just going to use the example of writing a book. I'm going to write a book. Now I'm going to substitute 1 hour a day. Like look at your phone. You say, okay, I spend like 5 hours a day on social media. Okay? Now, so I'm going to take one of those 5 hours and I'm going to start writing a book. But you have to time yourself. So you're like, okay, I'm going to do this. Shocking. I mean, I'm saying shocking what you're going to be doing. Because then after a week, imagine 7 hours of writing for your book. You're going to be like, man, I just finished like a chapter or more. And you're going to be like, wow, man, if I do this in a couple more weeks, I have a book. Maybe somebody wants to read it. Maybe it can be published. Who knows? I'm talking about books. If you don't have my book, You, Me and Happiness and Methodology for Fulfillment yet, it is on Amazon. Go and get it for a steal so you can know my secrets to happiness. Okay, then the last thing, number 5, is connect to someone special. Now this can be source. Actually termed as a someone. Or a person. Somebody that you haven't spoken to in a while. Somebody special. Just make that connection to reset yourself. Because many times, people that really mean something to us, but we might not be in contact with them that often, they've known us in a time where we're at our best, when we made connection with ourselves, or maybe you met somebody on a special holiday, on a traveling trip. Call this person up and have a good chat with them. And what you will see what happens on an energetic level is that you tap back into that energy of that time, and you will feel that within your being. And then when you go back, you're like, wait a minute, everything's okay. Let me connect back to who I really am. Let me use this energy and send this out into the world. I'm going to leave you today with this thing about the butterfly effect. They say when the wings of butterfly flaps, it can cause like a earthquake or something in another part of the world. That is how connected we are. That is how powerful the energy is. So every single thought that you have, every action that you do, every time you spread a message on social media, it touches everything. That energy you put out touches everybody. That's why it's so very important to take care of yourself and to take care of the energy that you reflect into this world. Okay. Well, until next time, be happy, be free. Remember, I love you and I believe in you.